Boop! Another day, another dollar. Thank the Lord for another 24. God, I do that with you. Quick correctional officer video for my rookie correctional officers. Anybody that's thinking about applying to corrections, you going through the hiring process, you about to go to the academy, this and that, and you new on the job. I'm gonna give y'all 8 do's and don'ts, as far as being a new correctional officer. 8 some things you should do, some things you shouldn't do, man. The first one is to always take the time to learn the policy and procedure. Always, I can't stress this enough, always know the policy and the procedures for what you can and what you can't do. You're working inside a correction. I mean, that could be the difference, between you going home, keeping your job, having a long, successful career, and the difference between you being sued in court, losing your job, falling down that dark hole where the inmates manipulate you and they got you into bringing in contraband. You sleeping with an inmate, you lose your job, then you facing jail, prison time. It never ends good. You know what I'm saying? So you want to always know the policy and the procedure wherever post you working on. Know what goes down, what you're supposed to do, and if you got questions or you don't know, call somebody. I've learned this early in my career, and it's always done good for me. When an inmate asks me a question and I'm not sure the answer, I always tell them this. I can't make no guarantees, but let me call somebody, let me find out that answer for you and check back with me, and I call somebody, whether it be an officer working next door that's a veteran officer that knows the policy and procedure or how things go down, and I get an answer. I call the supervisor, worst case scenario, before you say yes, tell them, I'll check, let me check on that and get back with me, that way you save yourself, from possibly going down and getting into a situation where you told the inmate yes on something, but you can't deliver on that promise. You know what I'm saying? So that served me well in my career. Those you don't know, or that's just joining my channel, I've been a correctional officer for 13 years. I've worked at 3 different facilities, 1 county jail in West Virginia. I worked at a federal prison in West Virginia. I've been down here at the federal prison in North Carolina since 2015, so I've got a little time in 13 years, and it's been good to me overall. The next thing, do enforce the rules and treat the inmates fair, firm, and consistently when you're doing your job. That's the main thing. If you treat the inmates with respect, and you stay the same every day, you enforce the rules, you will have a smooth shift 9 times out of 10, And the inmates, working with me, the inmates, they come to expect, how I run the unit, what I expect of them, what I don't like to see, what I do like to see, And they, the inmate, I have, sidebar conversations with the inmates, about what's going on in the world, what happened at the latest sports game, or they ask, the inmates got stars, so they watch a lot of the same shows, TV shows I watch, like Power, the 50 Cent shows, Be MMA. They may ask me, you see the new episode, this and that. So, once you develop that rapport with the inmates, the inmates may, they think you're cool. They have little conversations like that. But at the end of the day, the inmates know when stuff goes down, stuff happens on my unit, like a fight, you got an inmate high, inmate trying to assault another inmate or doing something they're not supposed to do, I'm going to address it and I'm going to do my job. It just is what it is. That's what they pay me to be there for, to do my job, to enforce the rules, to maintain the safe and, orderly running of the institution. So no matter how cool the inmates may think you are, this and that, you have a job to do at the end of the day. You have to enforce the rules and the policies, The next thing, always do proper documentation and stick to the basics when it comes to corrections. If you didn't document it, it didn't happen. You making your rounds on the unit, you supposed to sign off on a check sheet saying you made your rounds, or you got a computer system where you document everything that goes on in the unit. If you didn't document it, it didn't happen, man. Something bad happened, an inmate end up committing suicide in a lockdown unit, and you said you made your rounds, but you didn't do it, or they got you on camera, you're burnt. You're going to go down, So always, properly document everything that happens and occurs in your unit. You got an instance where an inmate's complaining of chest pain or something, and medical already seen them, this and that. They said, nah, he's just playing. He's just trying to find an excuse to come up to medical. Make sure you document that. You called medical. They said that they're not going to see him. Tell them tough luck, take an Advil or ibuprofen, something like that. Always document that type of stuff. In the event that inmate wasn't playing, he was for real, he ended up having a heart attack and dying on your unit, you got proper documentation, and you COY, cover your own ass. That way, in case they try to say you did something wrong, nah, I documented. This in documentation right here. I called medical at this time. They said they were not going to see him, and I let the inmate know, and that's what happened. Always leave a paper trail, proper documentation. The basics in corrections. Always maintain the security and safety of the institution. That's your main objective working as a correctional officer. Inmate accountability, the safe running of the institution, making sure they're in there, they're not trying to fight each other, they're not trying to harm themselves, commit suicide, overdosing, they're not in there getting high, fighting each other, trying to stab each other, doing stuff, moving contraband around. That's your main objective as a correctional officer, and once you notice things, or subtle changes in the inmate's behavior or potential signs of danger, you need to document that, and you need to let somebody know, whether it be your supervisor, the SIS department. You see stuff like the inmates, everybody's walking around in boots and hoodies or something crazy, long sleeve shirts in the middle of summertime. That should be a sign something's about to go down. I don't know, it might be a riot. They may be trying to wear boots and conceal weapons within them, their shirts or stuff. You see them stocking up on commissary. Something's about to go down. You see them got everybody's going to the commissary trying to stock up. They know they about to be on lockdown because something's about to go down. So you need to, once you see stuff like that occurs, you need to address it, and you need to let somebody know so people can monitor that. Everybody can be cohesive as a team, and possibly stop that threat. These are some of the don'ts when it comes to working in correction. Don't ever become complacent on the job. That's like one of the worst things you can do. And it's easy to become complacent on the job just because, 99% of the time, it's like the same stuff every day when you work in correction. It's like the same routine shit. A lot of the times we just sitting there with the inmates, just sitting there and watching. You do a round, you may not have to do another round on the unit for like another 45 minutes to an hour. That's a lot of downtime in between, So it's easy for you to become complacent, get lackadaisical, let your guard up. That's the worst thing you could do because, like I said, working in corrections is unpredictable. When stuff goes down, it goes down, man. I've seen it all. I've seen the inmate commit suicide. I've seen inmates get stabbed, bad fights, man. Inmates try to commit suicide. Inmate had a heart attack. I had to save his life by doing CPR. When it goes down fast, like boom. And it's like real sudden a lot of times, it can go from 0 to 100 quick. So you always have to be on your alert. Always on your P's and Q's. Once I go behind that grill or that Sally port when I'm at work, I'm in game mode. You can't never let your guard down all the way. You always got to think security and safety and your safety as well when you're working in correction, and the safety of your coworkers, because it never stops, man. And when stuff goes down, it's a never ending battle. It's every day, 24/7, 7 days a week. 365. It doesn't stop until your shift's over and you make it safely out that Sally port. Once you go in, you got to be on game mode. The inmates are on game mode. They always constantly plotting, planning. You don't know when stuff's going to pop off, when a race riot, inmate get assaulted, stabbed, whatever. When it goes down anytime, any place. The next thing, don't take things personal. When you're working in corrections, you're going to have a lot of things happen, a lot of negative things. You may have inmate cuss you out, call you out of your name, disrespect you, talk about you, say all kind of bad things. You may get into little disagreements with your coworkers. You can't take it personal. That's one of the things that'll help you have success in your career working as a correctional officer. When bad things happen, and they're going to happen if you work in this field long enough, you have to know how to, once your shift is over, you leave out. You got to know when you come back the next day, it's a new day. It's a new slate. You can't go in there with a vendetta trying to seek vengeance. You're not going to last long in the job. You can't take stuff personal. There's been instances where inmate may call me out of my name, disrespecting me. And they, I may have addressed it. We may have had some words, but I let it go. And, you know, maybe a few days later or a week later, he came in and they actually apologized to me. You know, I was CEO, I'm sorry I said what I said. I wasn't in my right mind, or I had this and that going on. And I understand that, man. You know, that's one thing that comes with correction. You have to be able to have thick skin, tough skin, and you have to be able to move on, you know. The next thing, don't ever just take an inmate's word on anything. You know, always investigate, always check, call somebody. Don't just, if an inmate come up to you and say, oh, you knew when you were a rookie, they say, oh, we always do it like this, or this is the way things are done. Don't ever just take their word, you know, because like I say, inmates, they plotting and planning. They always have an ulterior motive. They could be leading you down the wrong hole, the wrong rabbit hole. You know, they get you to do something you're not supposed to do. Now you in trouble, you know, and you can't say you didn't know because it's in the policy and the procedure. If you really don't know, like I say, always call and ask somebody, you know. I always tell the inmates, if I don't know or I'm unsure of something, check back with me in a little bit. I'm going to make that phone call. I'll check on it. I'll see what the situation is. Check back maybe 10, 15 minutes or later on in the shift. You know, that saved me so many times in my career versus me just saying yes when I can't deliver on that promise or that's not the way something goes. The last thing, you know, don't ever tell an inmate, yeah, I just mentioned this, if you know for a fact or you're not sure, you can follow through. You know, always say, let me check on that and I get back. But I just said that, man. That's one of your best tools you can have at your dispense working as a correctional officer. You know, don't never just tell them yes. You know, always check and verify, you know, because especially when you knew you working on the unit, the inmates, they quick to say, oh, we always do it like this, or we always stay out after count to clean up, stuff like that. You know, ask somebody, you know, and if it comes back that it's cool, it checks out good, then okay, that's cool. If not, then address it and enforce the rules. Now, y'all may do it like this with another officer. Y'all not doing it like this with me, you know. That way you saving yourself from hassle, possibly getting in trouble, doing something that goes against the policy and the procedure. Y'all like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. I got the merchandise for sale. Shop with me on my website, www.theghettobodybuilder.com. Y'all got any comments, questions, or concerns, drop a comment. I'll be sure to get back with you as soon as I can. Y'all know how we coming. Let's get motivated.